In 1969, Jack Trout wrote an article that codified some of what David Ogilvy had been saying for years. Later, he turned it into a book, Trout and Rees, called Positioning, The Battle for Your Mind. Positioning has been widely misunderstood by selfish marketers ever since. Here's the misunderstood version. We are in a battle to get our word out, our word, the way we want it heard, and we will push our point of view forward by differentiating what we make so that other competitors are boxed out and we get our share. So let me first explain positioning and then explain how I think about it. Here you go. Your brain is crowded. Your brain is 50 times more crowded than your parents' brains were, and their brain was 50 times more crowded than their parents' brain. So you're 2,500 times more crowded than your grandparents because of all the ads and all the news and all the yelling. That the typical 10-year-old can identify 1,000 or more logos, 1,000 or more. That the number of ads we see every day surfing the web or watching television or listening to the radio is infinite. And the only way we can deal with it is by ignoring almost everything. And even when something comes along that we're sort of interested in, we have a problem. And this has been backed up by a lot of insight in brain theory ever since. Our problem is it's really difficult to find a space in our brain for a brand new idea. And so what we do is we take something we're interested in and make it sit next to something we already understand. So, quick question, what's a Tesla? Well, it's sort of an electric Mercedes. I know what electric would mean, and I know what a Mercedes is, so now I have a box for a Tesla. We can look at lots of things in our life this way. What's a Scharfenberger chocolate bar? Well, for some people, it's a really expensive Hershey bar. Take a Hershey bar, add cash, now you have a Scharfenberger chocolate bar. For other people who have a lot of domain knowledge, a Scharfenberger bar is the grandfather of a Mast Brothers bar, except it has a better provenance, and it reminds us a little bit of a Rogue bar, except he uses a blend, and on and on and on. I can find all these pins and put the pins next to the other parts of the idea and remember them. What's interesting to note is I didn't say, oh, a Tesla, that's the car my brother-in-law's cousin makes. Because that's the way a different person would find a way to remember and understand what something is. Positioning is the way a busy human being finds a hook for an idea they want to be able to process. And when we bring empathy to the table as a marketer, we don't worry about differentiation and how we elbow our way in front of the competition. Instead, we exist to serve the customer. And what the customer needs is shorthand. What they need is a way to think about what it is you make. So my favorite positioning example from a bunch of years ago is the Volvo. Now, there were lots of cars to choose from. Saabs, Volvos, Chevys, Mercedes, BMWs, go down the list. They're all different. It's too complicated. It's too hard to make a decision. So Volvo says, not everyone cares about driving the safest car. But if you're the kind of person that cares about driving the safest car, this is the safest car. Now, does it matter that a Volvo is faster than a Saab? Well, it might to some people, but I don't need you to remember that right now. Does it matter that Volvos are made near your house in London and that Toyotas are made far away? It might, but not right now. Right now, what I am working to help you do is realize there's 40 cars you can choose from that are over here. Performance cars, cheap cars, fast cars, sexy cars, non-sexy cars, cars that last a long time. And there's one car that lives over here. And that one car is a Volvo. Now, it's not my job to persuade you to care about a safe car. It's my job to help you know that when you're trying to solve your car problem, you can solve it with a safe car. That's us. So for me, I'm not putting words into Trout or Reese's mouths here. For me, what we see when we see positioning done well is simple. We make an assertion about what the person we seek to serve already believes, what they already know, what they are already aware of. And then we build a product, a true story, a service that will fit into a slot that is currently open. That Photoshop, for example, for a lot of people, is a high-powered, expensive graphic design and editing program. So I could stake out the position of, this is a high-powered, free version of Photoshop, which comes with ads or some other way I make money. So now if you know what Photoshop is, you know what this is. It's Photoshop, but it's free. Or I could make a super expensive, super high-powered version of Photoshop, or one that comes with a lot of customer service, or one that's simpler, or one that's, go down the list. In each case, I'm not trying to hurt Photoshop. I'm trying to help my customer. I'm trying to meet the prospect where she is and go to her and say, I will not persuade you that you are wrong. I will not try to change your mind. I am here with a simple offer. You have a spot in your brain for this. I can fill that spot. That when we do positioning properly, what we are doing is finding a hole and filling it. So when I ask you about your university, oh, Duke, you're the Yale of the South. What does that even mean? Here's what it means. A student who already knows what Yale is, who already believes that the Ivy League is a thing that they need, who already aspires to go hundreds of thousands of dollars into debt to go to a private school that's sort of famous, and who also believes that their life will be better if they spend it in the South, that their life will be better in a school with fraternities or other elements, if their life will be better with a basketball team, all of those things associated with a Southern university, Duke can come along with a very simple positioning statement. And their positioning statement is, for people who already believe these things, that is us. We fill that slot. Now, the magic of marketing strategy is we get to change the product. We get to change the service. We get to invent a thing that we can tell this story about. So your job as a marketer is to be comfortable enough, empathetic enough with the people that you seek to serve, knowledgeable enough about all of their choices that you can appear and own a position. We're just like this, except we're over there. We're just like this, except we're over there. In our next session, we're going to talk about the magic of the XY grid and how you can begin to understand where to position yourself. But for now, here's my challenge. What I'd like you to do is think about brands that you like, that you buy from, that you care about. And then as honestly as you can, tell us their position for you. How is it that you stopped buying this and started buying that? How is it that you stopped recommending this and started recommending that? These choices that you made them because of positioning. You never understood everything about the brand. You never had full experience. It's impossible. You could never know as much as the person who works there. But you knew enough. What did you know? What story did you tell yourself when you chose to take this action? Thanks.